What I am doing is listening to a book while I'm reading it. So if we look here, we have Alex Hormozy's $100 million leads on the podcast, Spotify, right? While I am reading it word for word. So whenever he says this thing, he's literally reading it perfectly. Why would I do that? So the way that I look at it, and I've heard, is that you're doubling the intake. So you're not only hearing it, but you're also mentally like processing it through your eyes. It just really, really drives it home. I've already listened to this. I've already read the book. I'm going through it again. Not only will it make sense a second time more than it did, but it's really making sense. It's almost as if I wasn't listening the first time around. Doing something like this is a deliberate thing that I was like, I think that would be kind of fun. Like, I definitely want to try that. And I'm trying it right now. And I gotta say, it's really, really amazing. It's something that's absolutely worth doing. And even within the past few pages that I've gone through about doing more, like the Core 4 on steroids, about 100 minutes a day, posting 100, 100 minutes a day, 100 reach outs per day, all this stuff, 100 minutes a day, doing paid ads, whatever. You do this. I mean, I heard it the first time, but it didn't seem like a reasonable thing. I was like, oh, that's not where I'm at or something. But now I'm like, actually, maybe I should do that. That makes a lot of sense. And with the whole change that I've been predicting, and now everybody else is saying, oh, there's a change. I'm like, yeah, I've been telling everybody this for months. But the thing is, right now, it's not necessarily that I'm here where this book is saying, like it's not talking about paid ads and stuff or whatever, but I have to think about the possibility of making that transition. I like the challenge of pushing myself to live up to the challenge, when I face something like that, I can live up to it, but it is deliberate. Same with this task. And if I really take it seriously, then I can do it. The way that I would fail, or I think people fail at like self-challenges, is that they don't take it seriously. And I mean, I absolutely don't take a lot of things seriously. I really don't. So whenever I'm failing, that's why. And I mean, there's a side tangent. That's what happens when somebody is really talented. So if you're really, really talented at something, as soon as you try, you fail because you're like, oh, well, I don't care anymore. And then you see somebody like the underdog and the people that try really hard do better. And you're like, oh, wait, why did I quit? And now you're behind. It's a big problem. So you got to make sure that you care enough and you put in the effort, even past your ability. I don't know, I'm off track here, whatever. So moving on, what I'm saying here is you gotta think about the possibility of being a different person when you want to be a different person. So I want to be the person that makes so many sales and raises the rate of my offer incredibly high. So the way that person does is that person does this. And like Andrew Kirby talks about like a mental fitness, like approach your mind like you're an athlete, but of business. So I'm now considering, okay, this is training. This is like me being on the field like an athlete, but in my mind, in the sales, in the business, everything. Treat it very seriously and care. It took me a little bit to get to this point in this wording in this video. I'm sorry for that. I don't always speak very eloquently, but screw it. That's kind of how things are on YouTube, right? Isn't that what I've been saying? It's like all about like just seeing how somebody thinks and hangs out and talks. But I highly recommend this book, by the way, if for anybody who's an entrepreneur or runs their own business or a freelancer or anything like that, anybody who's in control of their income that isn't just a worker of sorts, I definitely recommend it 100%. And then if you're interested in having a side hustle to get out of your job, I think $100 million offers is more where you're at. But Alex Hormozi, definitely an idol of mine. Somebody I look up to very seriously. I think his plan is genius, his business angle. And then what's good is because I like what he's doing, but I also agree with, I full on believe, that is, what I've been saying about how the way that YouTube is changing, it really falls aligned with being able to produce a lot more and get those leads out and connect and be more relatable so you can focus on the product itself. So I was on 6 hours of coaching calls today, back to back. And man, did I level up my coaching program so much today that I think I'm going to increase the rate maybe within a week. So if anybody wants to talk about it before that or refers to this video, maybe I'll give you a discount, but I think I'm gonna chop it up another 40% price increase. Working on that. There's a couple things I want to fix in the program before, but it's this mindset. You got to push, and if I say, hey, I'm gonna make this thing more expensive, well, damn well better make it that much more better as well. I want to make it better before I hike the price. And that's just kind of like where I stand on that. But again, it's like I want to be faster at a runner. If we were to think of this athletic angle, it's like, oh, well, I want to run faster. Well, you got to start training faster. You got to start training to do that. So that's kind of where I'm thinking. And something like this book is really, really one of the practices of many. One thing doesn't lean up. Just because you read a freaking book doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're going to be an entrepreneur. In fact, you could read 20 books. If you're not taking action, doesn't mean shit. Even if you are taking action, but it's the wrong action, and you haven't decided to do this, or you just do all the things you like doing, but none of the hard things that you know you should do. People think there's a silver bullet for things, but it's not. There's never a silver bullet for anything. What you can do is get a broad learning of a system, and that's the closest thing that you can have of a silver bullet. But who you are, where you're at, what you can understand, what you can intake, and how seriously you take something, that's the deciding factor from getting you from A to B, or actually A to Z, because man, there's a lot of steps that you're likely going to have to face on your way. So I'm going to go back to the Andrew Kirby idea, which is like, consider what you're doing as if it's an athletic endeavor. Think about how you may not be fast enough, may not be strong enough, but you can get there. And if you train as if, and you do the things, even if you just want to watch some movies, whatever it is that you feel like doing, well, you have a duty to do what you need to do to get to where you want to be. But that's kind of where my head's at tonight. I like making these videos, you know. I like talking. I like doubling down and showing people like, hey, you know, that's the thing right now. It's like just talking to somebody, just seeing what they think, hanging out. I'm obsessed with sharing. Since I don't have somebody next to me right now being able to talk about this, I'm going to talk to the camera. It is 1:30 a.m. I'm past my bedtime by a lot, but I'm doing what I can, and I'll have to wake up in like 6-7 hours. But you know, I really love this ahead of everything, so I keep doing it. I love to encourage other people. You know, my favorite thing in the whole entire world is to see other people succeed, especially with the advice that I give. And oh man, recently from the community, the success that people have been having is awesome. Like, I'm shocked by my own advice and their results. From a 500% increase in something, it's just been awesome. Of course, some of them are fluke. Like, wow, that I'm not surprised it worked, but I'm surprised it worked that well. But I have been doing this for 30 years, so I know what the hell I'm talking about. So, but it's still fun, and I like to see other people. The problem is, I'm in control of my own self. I have my own flaws. I have my own hiccups and everything. You know, sometimes you're too close to the canvas to see the picture, but when you work with other people and you get to talk to people, let's say we're just out having lunch or something, coffee, whoever you are watching this, like, it would be awesome. I'd love to hear about what you're doing and love to give feedback. You know, and I sometimes just hop on calls with people just for the hell of it. Like, I just like talking to people about this kind of stuff. I think it's really cool. I love business. Especially when I only did it for like the business side and this mentality of deliberate money making stuff. I just hated it so much before. And now it's not that I love it. Actually, in fact, I still hate it. And that's where my voice comes from, where I'm like, oh, I hate money so much. I hate it so much. It's so interesting. Let me tell you about how I look at this, how it's different, how you don't have to be money grubbing, you don't have to be salesy, how you can have an approach about what you're doing in life and your business that isn't like everybody else. You don't have to be focused on the money. You can have it a focus. I said that weird. A focus on the money, but it doesn't have to be the focus. And in fact, if it is, you'll probably burn out. You'll probably be upset with your lifestyle. But for me, this isn't upsetting, for example, to be filming a video at 1:30 in the morning, because I like it. But I guess that's kind of all my rambling for now. If you guys wanted to ever hop on the call or something, chat, see where you're at, I'll also throw the link in for like a 15-minute chat in the description. I hope that's cool. Otherwise, by all means, get to know me a little better and the people that I'm talking to on a daily basis in the community. I really want to show people how I've managed to network and brand and look at things in a sense of reputation. And you know what? You don't have to have it perfect. You can have a good reputation and be flawed. I mean, there's a lot of people like that. Who was it that recently threw a trash can at a bus? Conor McGregor, right? It's like, but he's still freaking awesome. So there's a lot of ways you can approach things, and one thing doesn't do anything. It's kind of like the whole picture. So yeah, if you're trying to level up your brand, I'd love to talk to you. But definitely check out $100 Million Leads. I'll put a link for that too as well. Until next time, guys. Peace.